Hello there friends, it's Ashley here from The Loopy Lamb and theloopylamb.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at this book from David and Charles Publishing called Mosaic Crochet Workshop, Modern Geometric Designs for Throws and Accessories by Esme Crick. Now, this is a book on mosaic crochet, and even if you're not familiar with this technique, we're going to be talking about that technique a little bit throughout the book. Now, if you wait till the end of the video, I'm going to also be sharing information on how you can enter to win a copy of this book for yourself. So stay tuned for that. And if you're ready to get started, please hit that like button and please consider subscribing to this channel. So the book contains 24 crochet patterns for a variety of mostly home decor items. There are multiple throw patterns, throw cushions, there's rugs, there's a clutch and a tote bag, and some wall hangings. So I think there's also a table runner as well. But there's a variety of home decor items, all featuring these bold geometric designs, and they are stunning. Now, if you're not familiar with mosaic crochet, it is a deceptively simple technique. And I've seen it done a couple of ways, but the way that the author of this book does the mosaic crochet is very accessible and very easy to get started. Having only done a couple of mosaic crochet projects myself, taking a look at her technique and the way these patterns are written, it's really well done and really accessible. I really enjoyed this book in terms of having simplified what a lot of people will take a look at, and if they're not a keen fan of color work, they could maybe say, oh my gosh, no way, like this is way too complex. And I can tell you it's really simple. If you can do the single crochet, a chain space, and a double crochet, these patterns are well within your grasp. And she also shares some techniques on how to minimize the ends that you're going to need to weave in. At the beginning of the book, she walks you through how to understand mosaic crochet, as well as you'll see that the pattern skill levels are indicated using these little yarn balls and crochet hooks. There's easy, intermediate, and advanced patterns within the book. I also enjoyed that there is a section here about tension. Tension is what the UK terminology folks call gauge. So if you see that they're talking about gauge, and there's some tips on how to adjust tension or gauge. The patterns themselves are written in the UK terminology, and there is a chart that I'll show you in a second that will convert your UK terms to the US terminology. Here we've got information on how to make a swatch and how to follow a mosaic crochet chart. This section is incredibly clear and not a section you want to skip. You don't want to just skip straight to the patterns. You really want to read these first few pages on understanding the technique and how to read the patterns and color charts before just diving in. Okay. The yarn used in this book has all been provided by Sheeps. And although here, for me specifically in Canada, it's difficult to get your hands on this yarn, they are yarns that are easily substituted. And if you haven't already heard of the site yarnsub.com, you can enter the yarn name that you want to substitute, and it'll give you a list of yarns that are as closely matched to that yarn as possible. So if you're really wanting a good substitute, you can check that site out. Here on page 10, we have the materials and tools, as well as a hook conversion chart. The hooks that are used in the book range from sizes 3mm to 8mm. They have a 2.75mm here, but there must be one I missed. But for most of the patterns I saw, the hook sizes are within that 3 to 8mm range. Then you're going to need some specialty items for materials within the book. Like if you're making the floor cushion, you're going to need a special cushion for that, and different sort of things. Like there's a jar cover pattern. You're going to need glass jars for that. So there are some other materials you're going to need outside of yarn, but most of them should be easily sourced locally to you. Here on page 13, we have the abbreviations and how to read their patterns. And then there's that UK-US stitch name terminology chart that I mentioned. And you can see that there's only 5 terms listed here. It's that's because the patterns are only use those 5 stitches. So they really are as simple as I said, like if you can do your basic stitches, you just have to learn how to do the, read the color charts and then understand the 2 rows setup that the author uses. The patterns themselves are gorgeous. Like I just love this block party throw. And you'll see that a lot of the stitch patterns that she uses here have been used more than once. So the block party throw, where is it? Give me 1 second. Here we go. The block party throw uses the same stitch pattern that she's used here in the tea cozy. And so I really liked that, in that if you wanted to coordinate and have multiple items of the same within your home, you could do that. And on top of that, the author has gone as far as to offer you provide the pattern multiples for each of the stitch patterns. So if you want to make this block party throw a baby blanket, if you want to make it a king size blanket, you have the tools here to do that. Okay, and I really liked that about this book. And I'll flip through here. I'll show you a couple more of the patterns that I really liked. I really liked this tartan. I'm not going to say it right. Tartantastic throw. I personally did a crochet tartan set of patterns a couple of years ago, and she has simplified the technique on how to create a really beautiful tartan. I used a surface slip stitch technique, and this mosaic technique is a really great alternative for those folks that really, look at surface slip stitch and just, cringe a little bit. So I really liked this pattern as well. We've got the yes throw, and there's a matching tote bag. This Dutch houses throw is gorgeous. I want to make this exactly the way she has made it, with the same colors. And then we've got a fancy footstool, and this is another throw. But overall, the patterns in the book are absolute stunners, and they make me want to just throw my whips aside and start picking up one of these immediately. So, I really, really enjoyed this book. And if you are interested in checking or grabbing a copy for yourself, it is available on Amazon and Book Depository. And I have included the links for those in the description box below. But I am giving away a copy of this book to one lucky winner over on my blog, theloopylamb.com. I have included the link below to the full review of this that includes the in-depth listings of all the materials that are needed and the other resources that are available in this book. And if you scroll to the bottom of that page, you'll find a giveaway entry form on how to enter to win a copy of Mosaic Crochet Workshop for yourself. So that's it for me. If you have tried this book and you would have some experience you'd like to share with us, we'd love to hear from you. Please share that in the comment section below so our community can also learn from your experience. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and please consider subscribing to this channel. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Happy hooking, and I'll see you next time.